Morning, I'm Mike Hewan from Complete Cyclist. Today I'll be talking to you about the importance of bike setup and trying to sort of cast out the rumours that are existing in our industry. The biggest thing for me for bike setups is a lot of misconceptions when it comes to bike setups. Bike setups are important for a number of big reasons. The biggest reasons for me are performance enhancement. So if you get the setup right biomechanically, your body is able to perform in a more efficient manner. The other reason is that injury prevention. If you are setting your body up in a correct manner, you're able to alleviate any sort of overuse injuries that may happen from cycling. In a bike setup, I split it into three sections. The first being your cleats and shoe fitment. That's an important place to start on a bike. Any sort of cleat fitment needs to take into account the biomechanics of the foot and where it pivots, much like when you're running. If you're running, you're constantly pivoting on the ball of your foot. And if you set up a cleat too far forward or too far back, you're now tricking your body into thinking your foot is bigger or smaller. So that's a vital part of the fitment. And then we move on to the lower half of the body, back half of the bike. There, what is important is the fact that you're in two fixed positions. You're fixed on the saddle and you're fixed in the pedal. If those two positions are wrong, too high, too low, your body is very good at adapting, and by being very good at adapting, what it's going to do is actually hurt itself. If you're too high, your hamstring can only extend a certain amount. Once it's extended to that full extension, it can't do anything more. It can't break itself to reach the bottom of the pedal stroke. So what happens is your hips start to rock for it to reach the bottom of the pedal stroke. And your hips need to stay stable with your femurs moving in conjunction with each other. So you don't want that to happen. And on the counter of that too low, you start overusing your knee joint. On your knee joint, you've got 4 quad muscles going into your patella. That's a lot of force going into one very small area. If the force is too much at an angle that's too tight, you're going to start overusing that joint and causing injury in your knee. The other area is that being in a positioning on the bike, being an aggressive position or a relaxed position, you get a limitation at the top of the pedal stroke of your hip and torso, and you don't want to go past that. Once we've done the back half of the bike, lower half of your body, we then move on to the front of the bike. This is slightly different in that it takes into account the aerodynamics, but it also goes with a fine balance of right and wrong and personal preference. Some people want to be set up very aggressively, some people want to be set up like Chris Froome, as if you're holding on to the person in front of you nice and aggressive on the bike. It needs to be dialed into the person who's riding the bike. No one fitment is exactly the same as the other because it takes into account that person's body. And if you get all of that right, not only will you be better performing on the bike, you'll be more comfortable and you'll actually enjoy this lifestyle that you got into to enjoy in the first place. And that's to me why bike fitments are vital in cycling.